So as you know, the Diddy trial started today, and Cassie hit the stage, and 50 Cent could not control himself. Now you know 50 Cent and Diddy have been enemies for the longest, and 50 Cent finds every reason to poke at Diddy. But today he got so much ammo, it don't make no sense. So 50 Cent just posted a picture of Sean Diddy Combs' jewelry selection. It's a bunch of hymns. And he wrote the caption, "I'm not sure if this is fair, but don't worry, be happy." He's a fool. 50, you out of control for that. Then he goes on and posts this picture. "Your Honor, this theory of Cassie kicking Diddy's ass, I'm not buying it." Yo, he's AIing pictures of himself in the court. That's crazy. He also decided to hit him with this. Yo, this guy's out of control. "Diddy said in your mouth, shaking my head." Yo, Diddy. You gotta. Then he gonna post this. "Down on your luck? Not feeling good today? Well, look at the bright side. You could be Diddy. Chin up." So 50 Cent he has unlimited ammunition now, especially considering the fact that this trial might go on for who knows how long. But if you don't know, when I tell you there's been so many new revelations when it comes to this Diddy trial, it is literally out of pocket. So first of all, Diddy reportedly was reading his Bible in court during the trial. He said, "You know what? I am not Mr. Freakoff. I'm going to come on my Bible and whatever. But I'm not going to lie. God ain't going to help you get out this mess. He's going to make you pay if you did all that stuff." So not only that, today they had so many witnesses up on stand, and journalist Lerone De La Rosa went on the Breakfast Club and basically broke down everything that happened. Check this.
Which witness y'all want to go with first? The male escort or the LAPD officer? Whatever's more entertaining. The male escort. Okay, so the male escort gets on the stand, right? Black male escort. Yes, he's a black man. He's like probably like 5'7", really stocky, like, you know, muscle. I could tell when he walked in, I'm like, oh, he must be like a dancer or something. Oh, no, Charlamagne's body could never. He's like a dancer or something. So he gets on the stand. You must start off then. No goodness, please. Baby, listen, look at you sitting over. Sit up. Look at how pudgy. So he's on the stand. I thought you were talking about that Vera Wayne tattoo, though. And he's describing his relationship with Cassie and Diddy. And he's saying that, you know, up until a few years ago, in New York, whenever they would come here, they would call him because he would engage in different sexual acts with them, right? Allegedly. So he's like, every single time he got the phone call, it was from Cassie. The way that he met them was through his boss. So his boss came in one day and said, "Look, I have this couple who wants to do something for their wife. It's a bachelorette party. They need a male stripper. They didn't have a male stripper, so he went." He shows up in the NYPD t-shirt and he says, Cassie opens the door. She's in red lingerie. She's in a wig, dark glasses, and pumps. And she's like, "Listen, your boss told me that I'm supposed to give you $200 and he's a legend." And instead, she gives him $4,000. She's like, "I want to explain to you what's about to happen. So this is not a bachelorette party. My husband likes to do special things for me. He wanted to do this for my birthday. He just wants us to like rub baby oil on each other and, you know, just kind of like get familiar with each other. And whatever happens from there, if you're comfortable, I'm open to it." So he's like, "Okay." So he goes in. He says when he walked in, like just okay. He literally said Cassie was one of the most beautiful women he ever seen in his life. He couldn't even believe that it was happening like this. So he walks in and he alleges that Puff was there sitting in the room, but you couldn't tell it was him because he had a bandana tied around his face and then he had a hat on and he was sitting in the corner. He said that they got into it. He said that they were rubbing each other with the oils. There was other lubricant there as well. And that him and Cassie had sex on the couch in that hotel allegedly. And that the whole time Puff sat in the corner and masturbated. Executive producer, that's what he called it. And he did say that, you know, Puff never got involved, but he was telling them what to do at different times. That's how we know he don't make beats. And he also made it clear too that on the first time that they linked up, Cassie told told him, like, you have nothing to worry about. My husband is not gay. He's not going to touch you. He's not going to whatever. He just, he might tell us what to do or whatever, but he's not going to be, it's just going to be us doing the physical things. He said that they linked up a lot more times after that, but he did say that there were two things he said. He said one time he couldn't get hard anymore because he went to Cassie's house. They got comfortable with him. He came to Cassie's house. When he was there, Cassie and Diddy was in the room. He was outside in the living room. Diddy comes out and goes off on Cassie, like allegedly beats her up bad because she took a long time to come back in the room to him. And he said after he saw that was his first time seeing her get physically touched. He couldn't even engage in sexual activity with the two of them. And they haven't gotten to cross-examine him yet. Like, Diddy's team started, and then they had to stop.
What about the urination?
The urination thing. So he randomly was just recounting their experiences, and he just came out and said, yeah, because they were asking him, what are some of the things you have to do? He said, well, one time Cassie asked me to, urinate on her. And now we all gasping wait. Because the prosecutors...
Oh, so Cassie asked him, not Diddy.
Exactly. Because the prosecutors opened up that literally probably 15 minutes before that. The prosecutors were like, Cassie is going to tell you that Diddy allegedly made this escort urinate on her. There's an escort sitting in front of us sworn in on the stand saying, no, Cassie told me to do that.
And this is what I was talking about yesterday when I said they're about to put Cassie through it, and I hope her husband isn't hearing anything he didn't already know.
Yeah, right.
Because if not, they're going to make for some very awkward moments at home.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know that your wife got urinated on, and then find this out in court, it's a lot. Could you handle that?
Heck no, it's over for Brad. Look. Diddy's legal team requests Cassie's husband be barred from the courtroom during their testimony. You know why? Because it's going to get real spicy. You're going to find out that your wife that you married is a 304 and she been dragged through the streets and the sewers and the gutters by Diddy. Now, you wifed it. Now, you got to have babies with her. And now you got to look at your wife every day and think about Diddy blasting her. Oh my gosh. That when I tell you that's crazy, that's crazy. But it even gets even more spicy. Look at this. Cassie speaks on an incident involving Suge Knight and Diddy and was made to hold a gun. So the state attorney said, do you recall an incident between Sean and Suge Knight? Cassie said, yes, we were having a freak off in LA. D-Rock came in and said Suge was down at dinner. Sean drove over there. What is your reaction? I cried. I said, don't do something stupid. Were you ever handed a gun? Yes. We were doing in a club. We were going to a club in downtown LA. We taking mushrooms. I was high. I was told to put the gun in my bag. I was freaking out. Who was present? A driver, security, and Sean. Another time, I saw them get dressed and grab guns and leave in an SUV. How long were they gone? 30 or 40 minutes? Let me switch topics. How soon into the relationship did Sean mention voyeurism to you? First 6 months or a year? So basically, voyeurism is the practice of gaining sexual pleasure from watching others when they're naked or engaging in sexual activity. So I guess that's what Diddy was doing. He was voyaging into 20,000 leagues under the sea. He's going on a voyeurism journey. And he maxed her out, bro. Like, look at this. Cassie testified that candle wax was poured on her body during alleged freak-offs and that she was expected to do freak-offs on her period. Yo, he got R. Kelly beat. Okay, so the state attorney said, were you just talking about Astro Guy? How was it used? Lubricant. If you ran out, what? We'd call either staff or a bail desk and give them a tip. Where were the freak-offs lit? Were the freak-offs lit? Initially, it was candle, strong smelling Glade. Any other use of the candle's wax? A few times poured on my body. Who set the temperature of the room? Sean. I was expecting to do freak-offs on my period. Did you want to do that? No. Did you want to be urinated on? Objection. Grounds. Asked and answered. Overruled. No, I did not want it. How did it feel? It was disgusting. It was too much. I choked. No one could think I wanted it. Why were you choking? Too much pee in my mouth. Who else urinated on you? Sean. Did you want Sean to urinate on you? I didn't want anyone to urinate on me. How often did it happen? Often enough? Bro, Diddy. What you want, bro? Gosh, Diddy. Diddler the diddler. Yeah. Now I understand why 50 Cent probably has been just having a field day, because believe it or not, when you're in the industry and you're in these certain type of room, you know what's going on. And that's just what it is. That's why a lot of people are not saying anything that are friends of him, because they just know that if they do, eventually they might be summoned to testify or whatever. So they just keep it quiet. But 50 has never kept quiet about Diddy. And that's probably because he's known and heard so much stuff about Diddy in the past. Like, he just don't care. He's going to say whatever he needs to say to that boy. And just, man, it's crazy. Let us know what you think. Is Diddy going to go to jail for a long time, or is all of this some freaky behavior, but there's no crime committed, and she stayed in a relationship for such a long time? How could she possibly think? How can anybody think that she didn't enjoy it? So keep it locked. Stay tuned. Let us know what you think in the comments.